Yesterday I was wearing a shirt that just says, "Don't be an asshole." Very simple.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. Just be nice.
Yeah.
There's no point in being mean to anybody, or being violent, or being hateful to anybody.
Yeah.
It's not that important.
Are your relatives calling when there's some terrorism thing going on in Europe?
I mean, yeah, I try not to just think about it too much, because that kind of stuff fear and stuff can be a bit crippling. So try to just keep that in mind. But it's definitely, it's definitely on your mind, especially when you have, wife back home, family back home, all this stuff like that. It's like you think about those things more now as an adult. But it's scary, but you just kind of have to live. I feel like if you live in fear, then they win. And so you can't have that.
But then again, internet helps and Skype and shit.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, you would go on tour in Europe, coming home, and your wife was married to somebody else and had 3 kids or something.
Yeah, it's a lot better now, a lot easier now, for sure. Now there's just the time difference. That's the only thing. But yeah, it's good. It's a lot easier.
Anybody kids in the band already?
Our singer has a kid, is about to have another one on the way. I'm expecting a kid in January, and that's it. Just 2 of us. Yeah.
It changes a lot.
Absolutely. I think for the better, though.
Well, I remember, do you know the Toten Hosen? That German punk rock band, Toten Hosen?
I don't think so, no.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They kind of told us they freaked completely out, and it changed the whole band vibe, when the first guy...
kids.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of life. I mean, a lot of people think that being a musician, being in a band, it's like it's a rough life, but you just have to be able to adapt. You know what I mean? Like, there's a cute little baby right there, and I'm sure they'll be out there watching with the headphones and in the mix. It's just life.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't not, be happy and have a family and be married, do all those things just because you're in a band.
Yeah.
You gotta still live life.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and of course, back in the day, rock musicians, they weren't expected to get that old,
No, exactly.
to raise kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to just burn out early.
Yeah. How much are you involved in the writing?
Very much so. I'd say like myself and our guitar player Dan, kind of are the main writers in the band. Obviously, we all write together. Our other guitar player and bass player are very much like, I guess you'd say, the editors, But myself and Dan, the shorter guitar player, will write most of the music, and then Alex our singer, will write, lyrics and kind of do melody together, but very much involved. So it's kind of like what I do otherwise as well. So
any rituals there where you say, come on, we have to write some new songs, we drink some Dr. Pepper, or
it's usually not Dr. Pepper, but yeah, hang out, have a drink, relax, just write whatever comes out. We never try to force anything. I mean, we've had days where we get together and try to write music, and if it's just not coming, it's like, fuck it.
Well, your band name, one would assume that you read books a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Our band names, it was such a funny thing when we were growing up. Like, we liked, like, a lot of the hardcore bands we loved had like sci-fi kind of names, and we're like, oh, we think we want to do that, right? That'd be a cool thing. And one of our friends was like, oh, what about? First he was like, what about Falcor? And we're like, nah. What about Atreyu? We're like, that sounds good. It was so just stupidly thought of. It's not like a favorite book or favorite film of ours. It's just it just happened to work.
At least one in the band had to read the book, right?
Yeah, of course. No, it's good. It's like our guitar player always he came up with this kind of analogy where Atreyu in the book and the film, his character's essentially like main purpose was to save the world from the nothing, and the nothing was the killer of like hopes and dreams and inspiration and everything. So in his eyes, it's like we can try to be that for the music scene, for the world, like just try to let people escape and kind of save people from the nothing, if you will. Yeah. So works out. What's up? This is Brandon from Atreyu. You're watching MULATSCHAG, the only TV you need.
Well, you're coming from OC, California. Why is that? You know, it's home of Disneyland and something. You know, where there's so many metal bands coming from there.
I think just Southern California in general is just a kind of a hub for music, all kinds of music. So I think that Orange County had a really good hardcore scene to start. So I think that kind of birthed a lot of hardcore bands and then turned into a lot of metal bands and a lot of punk rock bands. So I don't know. It's just something about it. I mean, must be something in the water.
How do you see the 80s time in Southern California when, I don't know, everybody that played rock was called heavy metal, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like obviously like not Orange County, but LA was huge for metal and stuff like that in the 80s. But you know,
But they called Bon Jovi metal back then.
it's because there wasn't anything else to compare it to. I think back then, I guess. But you know, it's all good. It's all rock and roll.
What bands would you pick
For,
that you like from the 80s, like metal bands?
I mean, love Bon Jovi, love Warrant, love.
They're not around anymore.
No. Dan's more of the guy in our band that loves the 80s. That's his time. He was born in the wrong period.
Oh, he would love to, you know, do the solos like Slash does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you seen the Guns N' Roses already?
Yeah, I saw them at Coachella this last year.
Oh, there you go.
It was cool. I mean, it's fucking. I personally wish they would have had more of the lineup. You know what I'm saying? But it was still good. Cool to hear those songs.
Yeah.
You know, played like live again. So
Having Izzy Stradlin in the band.
that would have been awesome. Or like having Matt Sorum back or someone. You know what I mean? Like just other people that have been in the lineup at some point, rather than just like a bunch of randoms.
Yeah.
You know, but not that they're randoms, but. Yeah,
Well, how do you see that, you know, being a quite young rock musician, how do you see that, like, now all the big stars are getting, like, they turning 70, 80?
It's crazy. I mean, people have been doing it for a long time. I think it's cool. I mean, you look at a band like the Stones or you know, stuff like that. It's like they're old as fuck, but they're still killing it. They still go on stage and do good things and are entertaining. So it's like, as long as they're not, you know, in a wheelchair, keep rocking.
There is this, you mentioned it, that there is this wheelchair rock festival in Nevada, I guess, or is it Arizona? Sometimes in September, where the Who, Bob Dylan, the Stones, and all those old guys.
Oh no, that's in it's in California too. It's actually the same place they have Coachella.
Oh, there you go.
We my dad refers to it as Old Cella. But yeah, that's gonna be a good show. That's gonna be a great show. It's like every great classic artist.
Yeah,
in
and
one show.
it's like a show you won't see a second time because
No, they might die.
yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
that really freaks, you know. But then they're gonna do 3D or hologram shows.
I know that's gonna be the new thing. People are gonna die, but they'll still keep playing shows.
But what musicians would you pick as holograms to play with on stage?
Wow,
Hendrix.
that'd be awesome. That's a good one. I mean, it's unfortunately there's starting to be more dead fantastic musicians than there are alive at this point. So you could really go all out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of options for sure. You definitely. I mean, I'm sure lots of people would like to see Lemmy play more. Even more recent, lots of people would like to see Prince play more. They did the Michael Jackson thing. You know what I mean? That's cool, but it's a lot.
Yeah, with holograms, you could have Prince and Michael Jackson do together a show, you know? Have Hendrix play guitar then.
Exactly. There you go.
Well, the whole scene has changed over the years, of course. You guys have put out 6 studio albums so far. But then again, it's playing live, right?
It's kind of the most important thing. You know what I mean? For us, the live show's always been kind of the driving force. You know, obviously we love making music and writing music, but I feel like that's the fun part. You know, that's what we like to do most. Even on, you know, we have an album we put out, you know, a year ago, and it's just fun to get back out and play shows again, especially stuff like this, festivals, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
MULATSCHAG!